Brett, with these two young rosters, Celtics and your team, do you think they'll be battling each other in the playoffs for years to come, kind of like in the glory days in the 1980s?
I mean, I hope so. I've been asked that question a lot. You know, I think all of us would be curious about, you know, we still got LeBron in the East. You obviously got a strong Toronto program. I think Coach Casey's done a great job of growing that. But I hear your question. And, you know, I personally grew up with this rivalry just right on your doorstep and just a big part of your basketball life as a young kid. And it sure seems like both programs are heading in the right direction to give your comment a chance.
Brett, over here. I apologize for asking another unoriginal question, but what has the last few months been like for you guys, going from a team fighting for a playoff spot to standing here in the conference semifinals?
I mean, it's been fast-moving, but it's been something that people just grind, you know? Like, we come in, we work, and the guys do the same. It's a very spirited group. It's easier when you're winning to, like, keep pushing buttons and keep asking for more and more. You know, our preseason sort of goal before it started of making the playoffs, I put that out there. I felt like, why else are we here? I wanted to own that ambition, that goal. And then you get to a stage where you get a little bit greedy and you want home court. And then you get more greedy and you want to finish third. And, you know, you want to win a first round. And now here we are. And it's been fast moving, but it's been something that nobody is overly excited. We're proud, but we're not overly excited. We have more to do. I really believe that. And that has been my mindset, shared with our team. And to date, the players, forget what age, you know, their birth certificate says they are. They bought in. Like, they're coming to mean it, and we're excited to play in this series.
You and Brad came into the league as over here to, I guess that's your left.
Hello,
hey.
Brian.
You and Brad came in as head coaches in the same year. What, if any, relationship have the two of you developed, and what have you admired about his approach here from afar, or not too far?
I mean, I always followed him when he was at Butler and respected him as being innovative. And, you know, there was some Spurs connection with Brad earlier. And then when he came to Boston and I went to Philadelphia, you know, because of my own background, you know, growing up just down 95, you know, you paid attention and seemingly, you know, you started seeing how they were trying to grow their program and we were trying to grow ours. I got a lot of time for Mike and Danny in relation to how they've done it. I got a lot of time for Brad as a coach. And you just pay attention. And, you know, we bump into each other in summer leagues. You know, we go to the gyms with our kids. You know, last year in Vegas, he and I took our kids into a gym and had some good workouts and spoke a lot since then. I think he's class. I think he's a terrific coach, and look forward to competing against the Celtics.
You said that you expect a physical series against the Celtics. When it comes to Marcus Smart, what do you see physicality-wise, defense-wise from him?
I mean, when we first started wondering about that year with Andrew Wiggins and Joel Embiid in the draft, you know, I studied Kansas a lot. You didn't know where our ping-pong ball was going to fall. And a few of the games that I scouted Kansas, it was Oklahoma State. And so, like, you started paying attention to him and looking at him, you know, early. I did. And what I saw then, I see now. There is a complete competitor, and there is a pit bull. He just is physically imposing, and he has a mindset and disposition to back it up. And I feel like that comment that I've just shared about Marcus, they got in individual defensive players. It's the thing that stands out most to me when I study them, that they have the ability to guard their own man without much help. And that is an incredible asset in today's NBA, where you're just simply trying to avoid rotations. And Marcus has that. And, you know, we're going to see a physical game, certainly from him, and from, statistically, the league's best defensive team. And so we really have a work cut out for us trying to find ways to score.
Brett, speaking of defense, how do you maintain the intensity? You guys have been off, I guess, 6 days now, and you guys were playing at such a defensive peak against Miami.
Yeah.
How do you keep that going, and how important will that be against the Celtics?
I mean, it's how I see the world. I feel that we have been playing good deep. We've ranked third, fourth, second, fifth. Like, we've hovered back and forth. And we've done it really at times without Joel, who for me is the complete difference maker when it comes to defense. But we've been able to really maintain a standard even without Joel. I think to your question about timing and what does it mean that rest versus rhythm, you know, notion is true, this is the longest we have had off, anybody would have had off prior to an all-star break. I think that we've managed it well. I hope we've walked that balance of letting Joel play more basketball and getting comfortable with mask and just playing again. And, you know, JJ has a niggle or Ben has a niggle, you got to give them time off. I think we've walked that line well. How we come out and respond to that time off after playing in a pretty good rhythm, who knows? We'll all be smarter in about 5 hours. But I think I feel comfortable that we've managed that period of time off as best we could.
Coach, Brad Stevens just said that Marcus, who you spoke about a moment ago, will start tonight if Jaylen Brown does not play. How does their offense change in your eyes, or how do you expect it to change if Marcus Smart is out there as opposed to if Jaylen Brown were out there?
I mean, you're just probably going to look to generate more scoring opportunities through your defense. You know, probably you're going to think that Jaylen's got that athletic bounce and really has a, you know, dynamic scoring ability. You know, Marcus can do that. He just does it, I think, in more sort of a workman-like way. I think that other players can play sort of at a higher level with Marcus because of his steals and tenacity. Maybe you're going to see, you know, Rozier get out in open court as an example more. You know, maybe you're going to see other people reap the benefit of a defensive, more physical type of player. But they obviously going to miss Jaylen. You know, like he's got that bounce, and look at what he did in the Milwaukee series. If in fact he can't play.
Brett, you've talked about the game one of a series being the feel-out game. How valuable are the 2 days that you'll have in between games 1 and 2 when you talk about making adjustments?
I mean, I think they're valuable. I feel that it's uncertain still how we're going to respond to, like, time off. You know, I think what I notice with the players is, you know, you're just trying to identify an opponent for a while, who are we going to play, and then you feel it. I feel it. You know, with the coaches, you're like, you know, trying to game plan and be in war rooms. And so time off isn't always like the answer to playing well. And, you know, we have had a lot of time off. And so I don't know. Like I said before, I don't think any of us really know. And we're going to learn more about our players and the situation as this week plays out. So I think it's said with caution. You know, just time off isn't always a good thing.